Shelly-Ann on her journey. I'm embarking on a whole different journey in so many facets of my life. Spiritually, yes, definitely. That's important. That's a whole different journey that I'm embarking on. I'm embarking on education-wise. But, and that's, those two are important, very important to me. But what's most exciting to me is the fact that I am embarking on learning what it means to be an author. And that is a journey in and of itself, that I am learning what it means to just be. It's important for me to learn how to not have a lot of noise in the head and just take the moment and be with you. And I'm learning how to be with Shelly-Ann. And with that, comes a lot of different ideas, to the point that I'm on my second book. And I'm going to plug that in. Is Expanding Our World Beyond Reading, a practical guide for developing readers. And because of Melissa Blinks, it really showed me what the journey of writing is all about. And when I say it is a journey, that's exactly what I mean, because it is not a one and done. It's where I have to separate Shelly-Ann the wife, Shelly-Ann the teacher, and Shelly-Ann who is very busy in her head, to just be Shelly-Ann the author. And that is a new and exciting role for me, because when you don't know, you don't know. And when you do know, you can always improve on. And then when you're improving on it, there's always that wiggle room where you say, okay, should I go straight? Should I go left? Should I go right? Should I do topsy-turvy? And that's really what writing is. Writing is all that and encompasses. So that's why I call it a journey, and that's why I'm calling it Shelly-Ann's journey, because I feel that I'm on a new journey that I didn't embark. It really started with me presenting. So where it came from was I was presenting for district of wherever I teach, and first you would ask Shelly-Ann to walk in front of a room and talk. It would be, no thank you, yeah, nah, not happening. But I challenged myself to go in front of teachers, my own colleagues, throughout wherever I am, and I presented. And I realized, like, dang, girl, you can't present, not bad. So for 3 years straight, every Saturday, bless my husband's heart, he did not complain. 3 years straight, every Saturday, I was out presenting for 6 hours. And that taught me, hey, do not be afraid to step out. And one would wonder, okay, you're this old, why now? It's never too late. And that's one thing I had to settle within myself, that when it's the right time, it's the right time, and it cannot be the right time before it's the right time. If that kind of makes sense. I think you do. I think it makes sense. So the most important thing is to start. And this journey for me is an exciting one. It's a tiring one, because I still have other roles to play. As I said, I'm still a teacher, a coach at where I am. So that in itself is a journey in and of itself, and a whole different role in of itself. But through that, even with that career that I have done for almost 20, 25, 26 years, it is helpful, because what I'm learning through that teaching career, I'm putting it in now the writing. And you know that I say, don't throw away the baby with the bathwater. So of course I'm a teacher at heart, always, every day, in and out. But there are other ways to help navigate life as well. And I know that, and I've seen where, because that's been helpful to me, where books matters. And even long after everything and life pass on, the book stand its test. And this is what I do believe in, what this book is. Because Melissa Blinks, it is a book that, the first thing I would tell when people ask me, what is it about? I say, it's about the Hurricane Melissa that happened in October in Jamaica. And the first thing like, oh, you have it where it all come together and people, and you have pictures. I'm like, no, it's not from that aspect. It's from the aspect of unity. And they're like, oh, that's intriguing. And I had a friend of mine who recently bought it and said, oh, this imitates Jan Collins' life. I'm like, what do you mean by that? She said, I feel like this has been what you have shared with me, the type of relationship you and Colin have. I said, girl, you know what? You got it point. You're the only one that actually told me that. But in essence, it is part of our journey, Colin and I journey as well. And so I know I've used that word a lot, journey, but I feel like I'm embarking on so many different journey. That's why I say multifaceted, and I say Shelly and it's complex, because there is so much journey that I'm on, parallel going, but at the same time they're all synchronizing together to point to one destination, which is to fulfill who I'm meant to be before I pass and move on. So I like to think of Shelly Ann as the author who has many different aspects and sides to her, but also the author who is continuously learning to be who she is meant to be, should be, and must be, because other than that, there is no wiggle room to be able to not be your authentic self. And that part is important, because if you aren't your authentic self, then you have to ask the question, who really are you? And if you don't know who you are, then you're going to be rolling back and forth with every voice that's in your head, not knowing what your direction should be. So I am thankful for this, because it is stretching me. I'm thankful for this because it's something that I didn't know. And when Colin presented it to me, my first instinct was, I didn't tell him this though, so it's the first he kind of hearing it. But him knowing enough probably to think that it's not new. And I was like, what the heck, this man coming to me with? I don't think I want to do that. That would never make any sense. But then it was the outline, and Colin head is Colin head. I won't go into his head. I'll leave that one alone for him to help you to figure out what he said if he can figure it out. But on the other side, out of what the legwork that he provided, I was able to pull something that I didn't know was there. And that is why, within reason, I'm saying this within reason, of course, don't be afraid to try new things, because you never know. If it's within your scope and you're comfortable with it and it is not going against who you are and your morals, then yes, check it out. And if it's for you, it's for you. If it's not for you, it's not for you. You never know. But coulda, woulda, shoulda, it's not something that no one wants. And that is something I know I don't want at all. Never, ever. I try never to say coulda, woulda, shoulda, because regret doesn't help anyone. All right? So I am going to touch on now Shella the teacher, because that has been in me for 20 odd years.